things about this. The tickets are extremely expensive to go see her. I know, because you know my Bella's 16th birthday, that's what she wanted. She's a huge Taylor Swift fan. And if we're going to pay that much money as consumers, you don't need to serve up politics for that. It's divided us as such a nation. Why can't you go to a concert without that? She can vote any kind of way she wants. She can talk about it off stage. But when people pay to see you, just perform.
One note, actually, let me just edit. I don't want to get ahead of myself, Harris Faulkner, but let me edit that. She can vote however she wants. She can talk however she wants. And if she wants to put politics in her music or performances, she gets to do that too. I know that you don't like that we live in a free country, but we do kind of still. And so if Taylor Swift wants to go on stage and just start talking about paid family leave or, you know, like, oh God, tampons being freely distributed to kids, you know, scary stuff like that. She gets to do that because she's the wildly popular superstar Harris Faulkner, not you. If you ever get a platform like that, you can use it to talk about politics. Hell, to the extent that you have a platform, that is exactly what you use it for. Despite the fact that you're supposed to be a straight news person, you constantly opine. So why doesn't she get to do that?
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
But there is a reason to this. They're terrified. And they've been talking about this for months at this point. They just don't want Taylor Swift to get involved in the election because they know that she's amongst the most popular people literally on the planet. They were so terrified of her involvement in the election that they managed to convince themselves that the Super Bowl was woke and that it had been rigged by the deep state. They turned against not only beer last year, but they turned against football this year because they're so terrified that Taylor and the Swifties might throw this thing for them. But there is a particular reason that they're worried right now. That generally they're quaking in their boots, but specifically, there is a theory that Taylor Swift might have subtly endorsed Kamala Harris on Instagram because there is a photo that she posted. Now we're gonna put up this photo. And you tell me when you see it. So it kind of looks like Kamala Harris in shadow standing with her back turned to the camera. Now, do you see it? Do you see her back there? Now, other people say, well, don't get too excited. There's some context that you need. First of all, it was the 7th photo in a series. So if she was intending us to eventually read that as an endorsement, it is definitely a subtle one. And people are also speculating that that's just a backup dancer. So there's a backup dancer who turned around and that's what they look like. I don't know if I buy it necessarily. I mean, like, I'm not saying the backup dancers have to dress exactly like she does, but it definitely looks like the person is wearing a pantsuit. And the haircut definitely looks Harris-y. And it looks like she's waving to a crowd. Now, that said, Taylor Swift also has her hand raised in that similar sort of way. So maybe they're just doing the same thing. But I don't know. If you look at it, it does look pretty president-y. But anyway, the caption, maybe we can learn something from the caption to that series of photos says, oh, I love those Warsaw shows so much. Our first time ever playing in Poland, but it won't be the last. I seriously had the best time. Also want to thank those beautiful crowds for making us the first tour to play 3 nights in a row in your stadium. I can't believe we have 2 cities left on the European leg of the Eras Tour. It's truly flown by. See you, Vienna. Did you see what she did there? She just talked about her music. I don't think there's anything about Kamala Harris there, but I'm sure the right will find something to be freaked out about. So anyway, the reason why, despite all the context, you might read something into this is, as every good Swiftie knows, she does like to put Easter eggs in things. She does it in her lyrics, she does it in her music, she does it in her public appearances, and the videos, and the photos, and all that. So it could be that. I don't know. I would just say, I think it could be several steps less subtle and still be an Easter egg. So I'm not yet convinced. But I will also let everyone know before I get to the last fun bit of this, her Vienna concerts did end up getting canceled because there were apparently 2 youths planning a terror attack on one of the concerts, and apparently just to showcase an abundance of caution, it's not gonna happen now. So as always, a few people can ruin the fun for so many, but not to make this all serious, maybe she should get involved in politics and everything. She also has a serious job and she does have to worry about people. You know, there have been people who've died at her concerts and stuff like that. So it is a serious thing. I will also say though, I don't know if she's going to endorse Kamala Harris, but I think that she should. If she actually believes in Kamala Harris, she should endorse her. And here are a few of the people I would like to see, not just do the endorsements, but show up at the DNC. I am biased because I'm hoping to be at the DNC, but I do think that Taylor Swift should show up. Although if it had to come down to one star, I think that Beyonce needs to make an appearance. They had Kid Rock perform. Can you imagine if the musical act leading into the last two speeches on night 4 was Beyonce? It's pretty exciting, and it certainly could happen. I would also like to see Pedro Pascal, and you're probably wondering why. Just because he seems really delightful. A lot of people like him. I think that he should be there. I'd like him to be involved in literally anything. I've been calling publicly for Simone Biles to show up at the DNC. I don't know if she's a huge Harris fan, but she did put out that tweet talking about how much she loved her black job. And she is America's sweetheart right now. She is like the GOAT of gymnastics. So definitely get her there. That would be awesome. And then for the final spot, we have to answer Hulk Hogan. So they had a wrestler, one of these like avatars of masculinity or whatever. So we need a wrestler. And I see in the chat people calling for CM Punk. That's fine. He's a big star. If they want CM Punk, I will say that like I'm not yet won over with his appearance in the WWE, but Sami Zayn, not as big of a star necessarily, but 10 times the wrestler that Hulk Hogan ever was, and a good guy, raised tons of money for those suffering in Syria, has been very outspoken on Gaza. Get Sami Zayn in there. I know he's technically a Canadian or whatever, but I think he could do it. I don't think it'll be The Rock, by the way. He mostly stays out of this stuff, but maybe Dave Bautista, people are pointing out. I don't know what his politics are, but that would be pretty awesome. And he is much beloved for his appearances in movies. Anyway, we'll see what happens with the Swifties being attacked by Fox News. We'll see what they think about Fox News saying that Taylor Swift can say certain things but can't say others. They tend to be a little bit defensive of her. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?